Double the context length and the cost of attention quadruples. Go from 1,000 tokens to 1,000,000, and that's a factor of 1,000,000,000,000. This is the quadratic wall every long context model slams into, and sparse attention is how we climb over it. Quick recap: self-attention turns every token into three vectors, a query, a key, and a value. To decide how much token I should listen to token j, we take the dot product of i's query with j's key. Do that for all pairs and you get an n by n score matrix. Softmax each row into weights, and every token's new representation is a weighted blend of all the values. That full n by n matrix is dense attention, also called full attention. Every token attends to every other token, so the work scales with n squared. Time is quadratic, and so is memory. The attention matrix itself is n by n at 500 tokens, that's 250,000 entries, fine. At 100,000 tokens, it's 10 billion entries per head per layer. That is the wall. But here's the thing, if you actually look at a trained attention matrix, it's almost empty. After softmax, the vast majority of token pairs get a weight near zero. Each token really only attends to a handful of others, its neighbors, a few special tokens, maybe one or two faraway references. Dense attention computes the whole grid, then throws most of it away. And that's not an accident. Language has structure. The words that disambiguate a token are usually close by, the same phrase, the same sentence. A handful of references matter at a distance, the subject from 3 paragraphs ago, a definition, a heading. So the useful attention is mostly local, plus a few long-range anchors. Sparse attention is really just encoding that prior directly into the architecture. So why compute the zeros at all? Sparse attention restricts each token to a chosen subset of others. We apply a mask, only the allowed pairs get scored, the rest are skipped entirely. Pick the subset well and you keep almost all the quality while computing a fraction of the matrix. The question becomes, which subset? 3 patterns do the heavy lifting. First, the sliding window, each token attends to its local neighbors, which captures most short-range structure. Second, global tokens, a few designated tokens, like a class token that everyone attends to and that attend to everyone, giving information a shortcut across the whole sequence. Third, random links, a sprinkling of long-range connections so distant tokens can still reach each other. Stack these together and local detail, global context, and long-range reach are all covered. But if each token only sees a window, how does it ever use the whole document? 2 reasons. First, depth. Stack many sparse layers and receptive fields compose. A token a few layers up indirectly sees far beyond its own window, the same way convolutions build up a large field from small kernels. Second, the global and random links act as shortcuts, so any 2 tokens are only a hop or 2 apart. In fact, BigBird proved that this combination is a universal approximator of sequence functions, and Turing-complete, sparse, but not weaker. These patterns are exactly how the classic efficient transformers work. Longformer combines a sliding window with global tokens and drops to linear, ON. BigBird adds random attention on top and is also linear. The original sparse transformer used strided factorized patterns for ON times the square root of n. Reformer hashed similar tokens together for ON log n. Different recipes, same goal, escape the quadratic. One important clarification: FlashAttention is not sparse attention. FlashAttention still computes the full exact n by n result, it's just clever about memory, tiling the computation so it never writes the whole matrix to slow memory. It attacks the constant factor. Sparse attention attacks the exponent. The two are complementary, and the best systems use both. There's a second wall at inference time, the KV cache. To generate each new token, a model keeps the keys and values of every previous token in memory and attends back over all of them. So the cache grows linearly, and each step's attention grows with it. Long chats get slow and memory hungry. Sparse attention helps here too. Streaming LLM, for example, keeps just a sliding window of recent tokens plus the first few. The attention sinks and runs on effectively unbounded streams with bounded memory. Which brings us to 2025 and DeepSeek's native sparse attention. Older sparse methods were often bolted on after training. NSA is natively trainable and hardware-aligned. It runs 3 branches in parallel: a compressed branch that summarizes blocks of tokens, a selection branch that keeps the most relevant blocks, and a sliding window for local detail, fused by a learned gate. The result, it matches FlashAttention 2's speed on 64,000 token sequences, and on average, it doesn't just keep up with full attention, it beats it. So dense attention for short sequences where the quadratic cost is cheap and you want maximum expressiveness. Sparse attention once context gets long, and increasingly, even when it doesn't. The attention matrix was always mostly empty. We're finally building models that don't pretend otherwise.